Okay, greetings everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day. Enjoying life, living life, and loving life. All right, we all should know the routine here pretty soon, but want to remind everybody, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Help get the analytics up and the algorithms going. If you're on Hecklebus, get over to El Perro and do the same. And likewise, if you're on El Perro, get over to Hecklebus and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. There's a StreamYard link for anybody that wants to join, and there's a PayPal link for anybody that wants to share some love. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to try to make this short work because everything I'm presenting today is a matter of simple research, so you should be able to just take some simple notes real quick. And we're going to start out with Deuteronomy 24:7 of the King James Version of the Bible. And it says, if a man be found stealing any of his brethren of the children of Israel, and maketh merchandise of him, or selleth him, then that thief shall die. And thou shalt put evil away from among you. Thou shalt put evil away from among you. What are we talking about there? What are we talking about when we make that put evil away from among you? It's a separation. You're supposed to know the good from the bad. You're supposed to recognize when somebody is stealing the brethren of the children of Israel. You're supposed to cry out, speak boldly as you ought to, because it's otherwise the reaping of a death sentence. This is why I tell people to coin your words or purse your lips. The things you speak create atrocious things if you don't know what you're doing. And you're doing it to yourself. It's your own fault. What you put out comes back to you. What he puts out comes back to him. He guarantees that. He assures that. Whatever that is. A death sentence versus a life-essence. So let's get into the etymology. When we think about the word sent-ence, we know the root word is sent. So it means a place of origin. It comes from a place of origin. What's the ence? See also ants. Word forming element attached to verbs to form abstract nouns of process or fact. As convergence is to converge, or a state or quality. Absence from absent. Again, the same root. Here we have a suffix. Here we have a prefix. It's affixed to it in the front. This would be affixed to it on the end. So first comes the sent. So what is the process or the fact of the suffix? What is the process or the fact of the suffix? Ultimately, from Latin antia and entia, which depended upon or on the vowel in the stem. Depended upon the vowel in the stem word. From pi nt, adjectival suffix. Latin present participle endings for verbs stemmed in a were distinguished from those in I and E. Hence, the modern English Protestant, opponent, obedient, from Latin protestere, opponere, and obediere, I-E-A. As Old French evolved from Latin, these were leveled to ants, all of them. but later French borrowings, they borrowed it and that's an adopted. They adopted it from somebody else, from Latin. Some of them subsequently passed to English. Because English adopted everything it has from another language that existed prior to it. Used the appropriate Latin form of the ending, as did words borrowed by English directly from Latin: diligence, absence. English thus inherited a confused mass of words from French: crescent, croissant, crescent roll or croissant. Is it a crescent roll or a croissant? Depends on which term you wish to use. And further confused it since 1500 by restoring ence selectively in some forms of these words to conform with Latin, thus dependent and defendant. Penned. Who penned it? Is it pending? What is penned? Independence. You catching on, folks? Anyway, let's take a real quick break and remind everybody, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And I'd like to welcome everybody. I appreciate everybody that watches these videos. Please help the algorithms and the analytics by hitting that like, share, and subscribe. There is a PayPal button for anybody that wants to share some love. But I would really appreciate people on the panel. There one. Oh, my goodness. We've got a chest, too. What's up, brother? You got to speak closer to the mic, brother.
All right, hold on. My microphone's shut. Can you hear me now?
Let me check in the background. Check your settings in the background. See if you're.
Can you hear me better now?
Okay, try her again.
Can you hear me better now?
Much better. Much better.
Yeah, those headphones are cashed out.
Yeah. So how you doing, brother?
How you
Looks
doing?
like you're working hard, trying to treat them babies with some special care, huh?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, we're just going over this thing about the death sentence. You know, everybody speaks themselves into a death sentence without being the life-essence. So we're going to go over some terms here in etymology, and hopefully everybody's going to be able to turn around and go back to their origins and become that living soul that they're meant to be. Kindling that soil like our brother Jeff.
Hey, Mr. Little. Glad to see your smiling face.
Hey, yours is quite familiar there. Do we look like brothers? I mean, geez, let me hold on.
Are we brothers? There you go, brothers.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get to it, guys. Unless you got something to say, go ahead and speak up, brother.
No, I'm just here to listen and support you, my friend. I'm gonna send you a little something tonight. It's been a while. I didn't forget about you. I just want you to know I love you.
Oh yeah, that's one of the best things about friends. We know we don't forget about each other. We're gonna pop back up now and again. Love you too, brother. All right.
I'm gonna listen to you speak. I have a little work to do in the garden, but I just want to show my appreciation. Say hello.
Awesome. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
And I'll be listening. I'll be here.
Okay, so we've got the ence, E-N-C-E, in sentence. So what about the Life-Ess-ence? And if we look at that term, it's L-I-F-E and then essence, E-S-S-E-N-C-E. So if absence is to absent, shouldn't essence be to essent? And therefore the ES would be separate from the S-E-N-C-E, as in absence. So let's look at that. ES, and it shows it in its proper place as a prefix because it's got the hyphen after it. Whereas before, the hyphen was before it. Okay, showing that this is a suffix. Okay, so this comes from Proto-Indo-European root meaning to be. That is the question. To be or not to be. Sense, S-E-N-T, S-E-N-S-E, Essent, S-E-ence. It forms all or part of absence and absent, am, bodhisattva, entity, essence, the life essence, which is, like I said, essent, I-A-L, assent, essential, S-iv, EU, eucalyptus, Eucharist. Euclidean, Eudora, Eugene, eugenics. Eulogy, Eunice, euphemism, euphoria, euthanasia. Homoiousian, improve, interest, is, onto, parousia, present. As an adjective, existing at the time. Present as a noun, second sense, what is offered or given as a gift. The life essence. What is the life essence? The man, God formed man of the dust of the ground, and when he breathed the breath of life into his nostrils, man became a living soul. Proud, quintessence, represent, satyagraha, sin, soothe, soothe, suti, swastika. Yes. It is the hypothetical source of evidence for its existence is provided by Sanskrit asmi, Hittite imi, Greek esti, Latin est, as in establish or latest. So it can be used as a suffix or a prefix. Old Church Slavonic, jesmi, Lithuanian, esmi, Gothic, emi, Old English, eum, German, ist. But yeah, that's a good one, huh? Eugenics. They're essential. It's the essence of the Eucharist. Catching on, folks? So let's look at the other part, the suffix that is ESS. Feminine suffix from French. You know that likeness? It's liken S. Liken S. Just like behave, it's not behave, it's behave. And it's not likeness, it's liken S. Image, I'm age, and liken S. I have a quality about me that allows me to communicate in peace. I also have an image, and that quality of me provides the protection. S, from the late Latin isa, from Greek isa, cognate with Old English feminine agent suffix isg. Rare in classical Greek.
Hey, Wizard.
Uh-huh.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
Can I ask you a question?
You may. You may.
Can you hear me well?
I can hear you well.
Um. So I was writing in my journal, like, I mean, it was like a year and a half ago, but it was about our image, like the word image. I'm, age. Um. And I had this thought that I wrote down to where if we never saw our own reflection, would we really, like the way we interpret ourselves in the mirror before we ever had a mirror? Maybe you saw your reflection in a pond or the clearest lake. Like, how would you know who or what you look like, and no one could judge you for your appearance because you didn't even know what you look like? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm absolutely right with you, brother, because it makes no difference what I look like, does it?
No, they can say,
Tell by another man's actions what they're doing and what the effect is, and that's the important thing. That's why everything else is just bullshit.
yeah, it's about who you are and what your soul is, right?
Yep.
What you do and who you are. It's about who you are, not what you are or what you look about like. Anyways,
Well,
I will let you finish um your presentation. I just wanted to throw that out there because it was in my mind.
yep. And I just want to make sure people understand me. It's not about who, but rather what, because the what is the verb. The
We
what
are
is,
verbs, right?
yep. So,
We're not pronouns.
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I
Okay.
mean, did did you see that thing where I think the greatest thing where that movie What Is a Woman that came out, and he said, I would like to be called by my adjectives, brilliant and handsome. And if you don't
Yeah.
address me as brilliant and handsome, I'm going to be very offended.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny.
Okay,
So anyway,
I'll leave it. I'll leave it to you, Wizard.
and we're going to talk about that here in a second along
Okay,
those lines. This
okay.
next word, this next word is essence. ESSENCE, or it could be ESENCE. It's a matter of how you interpret it. It's a matter of how you want to reflect yourself, and you have to be able to explain it either way. Is it sense or is it ence? There's a particular enunciation depending on what kind of noun is being used, or what kind of um, terms or conditions are availed. Okay, are available. Whatever the terms and conditions are available, you can see that there's various different forms of it. It can either be ESSENCE, or it can be ESSENCE, just like I explained in my earlier video. There's different forms of being able to construct them. Late 14th century essentia, respelled late 15th century on French model, from Latin essentia, being, essence. Now here this is the English idiocy of it, because they use essence to define essence. And as I'm showing you, you can't do that because it may be sense or it may be ence. So you cannot use this as a definition. That should not be there. With the exception that abstract noun, it's not a pronoun, it's an abstract noun. That means it is total fiction. total fiction, formed to translate Greek oisa, being, essence, from sent. Or it could be ent with a hyphen, so that would mean ent would mean something else. Ent, essential, entity. Is it essential to the entity, or is it essential to the s? Present participle stem of s, present, in the now time. To be, from pi root es, to be. So this would be to be sent. Life-Ess-ence, or life's sense. So is it life essence, or is it life's sense? Well, that would depend on whether you consent, which is the verb. You have to agree.
Hey, Wizard, I'm back. Now I have a question.
All right.
So you're the word wizard. Right before I met you, I got really into etymology, and that's why I dig you so much. You're sometimes a little hard to understand, but that's just because you've done more studying or whatever. But when it comes to Russell J. Gould and the other guy, what's his name? Chris. I don't know. He's another guy.
Yeah, Christopher Machan.
I start to wonder, like, I start to wonder, what do these words like even mean if they're not put into action? As in, like, physical. Like, if you meet someone and you have a connection, right, with someone else, we can say all the things we want, but it's more about action than words. Correct?
Exactly. So therefore, the interpretation is important, and the invention not so much. So when you look through the history of time, David Wynn Miller came up with a system of parsing.
Oh yeah, that's it. David Way Miller. That's the guy I was looking to the word. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mark Kishan Christopher, or whatever his name is the other guy you're thinking about with
Yep.
And what they're doing is they're promulgating an invented grammar. Nowhere in history will you see all those hyphens in grammar. Nowhere in history will you see all those full stop colons. Nowhere. They invented that, and they want people to believe in it. And the true sense of it is you really need to just go back to the concise English, learn how the words and terms are constructed so you can tear them apart as they are. Rather than trying to use a new language, you need to learn the one that they actually tried to teach you. Which, like I said, it's a mix of multiple languages, so you have to go to their roots depending upon how it's divided up. And you have to determine how you want it divided up.
So this is how they confuse us in the masses.
Correct.
Because then they write policy and code and all these legal terms and word garbage to confuse everyone on the planet and keep us complacent and scared because we don't know the right way to respond or even interpret it for the most part.
Exactly.
I mean, like you said, like, if you don't go to court, think about if I was like, let's just say I went to a country where I have no idea what the language is whatsoever. I get charged with something and I can't speak their language and they're speaking to me in court. I just look at them with a blank stare and I'm like, hey, I don't understand. You just don't say anything. What can they convict you with, really? Or do they convict you because you can't interpret it at all? because of their language.
Well, no,
What are your
well,
thoughts on that?
technically, they can't convict you if you don't understand. And I just did a video the other night with a bit non-bit idiot, Kerry Zolman, and he does it perfectly. He had 55 years over his head for 12 different federal felonies in regards to tax related issues, and he defeated them all just by playing the idiot. He did nothing but ask questions.
Okay.
They can't prove that he's competent or incompetent if he's still just asking questions.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to throw that out there. I'll let you continue. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. And this is the problem with anybody trying to make some kind of claim. You can't do that. You literally, when you start making claims, that's literally when they've got you for some kind of liability, because they know you're lying. They literally know you're lying if you don't know these terms and set them forth first. So let's get on to the next one, consent. It's a verb, circa 1300, agree, give as sent. Or, pay attention, you give your ass by the entity. Or you enter your ass. You give your ass entry. However you want to look at that. Now, that's not what I'm saying to look at it, but I give as sent and as set. It works the same way. Yield, when one has the right, power, or will to oppose. From Old French consenter, agree, come, ply, with, ply, ploy, plot, like in plotting out on a map, mapping, guiding, with guidance. So, do you need to comply if their guidance is wrong and it's not going to get you where you were sent and meant to go? And directly, 12th century, and directly from Latin consentire, agree, accord, where we get record, literally feel together, with. From assimilated form of com, with, together, see, con, meaning the same thing. So when we have sentire, to feel, see, sense, and con, now you have a consent, consents, and a consensus. What is a census? And why are you with it? That's your consensus, which means it's your consent. Feeling together, hence agreeing, giving permission, per the mission. You were given per the mission of the man and not recognized as the living soul. No one recognized the living soul. They recognized the mission of the man, which is a commission to plot the wrong path. A sense evolution that apparently took place in French before the word reached English. Related, consented, consenting, also from 1300s. Consent as the noun. Approval. Voluntary acceptance of what is done or proposed. Also agreement in sent, I meant. The mentality of which I was sent. Unity in opinion, From Old French, consent. From consentire, agree, comply. From Latin, consentire, agree, accord, literally, feel together. Huh. Why is the difference? And yet all the same. See how that works? So the only difference between the noun is the voluntary acceptance of what is done or proposed. It's approve. You're agreeing that it's been proven. You're agreeing that it's real. You dummies. You big dummy corporations. Con. Word forming element meaning together with. Sometimes merely intensive. It is the form of com used in Latin before consonants except B, P, L, M, or R. In native English formations such as co-star, co tends to be used where Latin would use con. So it would be constars, just like consenting, agreeing, giving consent, da 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 da. Originally a reference to legalizing private homosexuality, consenting adults, because they are committing adultery. Does that make sense? Anybody? So let's make a real quick peep down in the chat. First of all, I want to remind everybody, hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're on Hecklebus, get over to El Perro and hit that like, share, and subscribe. And vice versa, if you're on El Perro, get over to Hecklebus and hit that like, share, and subscribe. There's a PayPal, should be a PayPal button up there somewhere. If not, I can post that. And if not, oh well. But anyway, we've got a situation where we really need to start looking at the terms and conditions put before you, finding the origins so you can consent appropriately to correct things and not properly. So I want to thank everybody witness. First of all, thank Jeff for coming up on the panel. If you're still there, we're just about done. So if you got anything to say, come on back. Otherwise, we're saying hi to witness, something, nothing, all star, Aaron, John M. What's up, Cynthia? Good to see you. Texas, Kelly, Mimi, that's me. Greetings, everybody. I don't know if there's anybody else on the other platforms, but a greetings to everybody there. And gosh, let me make sure the StreamYard link is down there in case anybody wants to join the stream again. I'm checking the chats and I don't see it. So we're going to double check and make sure. And yes, eucalyptus and eugenics was interesting, was it not? Eucalyptus plants are known for their special antibiotic properties that help in healing. And of course, eugenics is part of that. And then, of course, that Eucharist was another interesting one. And I see we lost Jeff, so maybe we lost a signal there. Austin Murphy, Kylan, greetings, everybody. If anybody's got anything to say, feel free to join. Otherwise, I'm getting ready to drop off, and I'm going to go surf the boards again. All right. Well, everybody remember, I didn't post any links on this one because I think it's pretty easy to just go through the etymology. You've got the video where you can pause and stop it and everything and do your own research. So I urge everybody, like I say, do not believe me. Do not believe your neighbor. Do not believe the government. For crying out loud, don't believe your mother. Do your research so you know. There's no ledger. No ledge. So in the meantime, remember, everybody, I love you, but I don't give a fuck whether you love me back. But God bless. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.